It's time for the Gold Show. Jonathan Rose, CEO, President of the Capital Gold Group, and Precious Metals Investment Strategist is with us today. Jonathan, as always, it's good to talk with you.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be here and help educate our listeners on the importance of having a diversified portfolio, which includes precious metals, particularly gold that you get to hold on to. And on today's Gold Show, we're going to be discussing the advantages and benefits of backing up those shrinking dollars with tangible asset gold.
That's right. Before we get started, though, you have something to offer every listener to the program today if they pick up the phone and call right now. It is called the Gold Guide, freshly updated for 2009. It really is an incredible primer on what gold is, the history of it, how precious metals can be invested in, and it's fascinating. You even have a DVD in there that takes us through the history and talks about it and shows us gold. Can our listeners get this today for free if they call right now?
Absolutely. On today's broadcast, when they call us toll-free 800-510-9594. Again, that's 800-510-9594. They'll get the free gold guide, and like you said, it will show listeners and existing clients, how to purchase gold at the lowest possible prices, which gold coins and bars will give you a better return in the future, and also, like it was featured in the Wall Street Journal just recently, if you have an IRA or an existing 401k from a previous employer and it's just sitting there, well, we can show you how to back up those dollars with physical gold that's held in a segregated safety deposit box. It's still an IRA. You still get your statements. You now have physical gold instead of being invested in this volatile stock market. So there's different ways you can invest in gold. The best way to get started is to educate yourself. That's why we've put together this 2009 Gold Guide for the listeners today, and it's yours free just by calling us 800-510-9594. Again, that's 800-510-9594, or they can see us online at www.safeasgold.com or safeasgold.us.
Now, Jonathan, I want to start by talking a little bit about the concept of purchasing gold, and it's very interesting. In the Gold Guide, you're going to see a section in there where you talk about the concept of investing in gold, and you really don't have to think of it as purchasing because you're essentially transferring wealth into real wealth. Explain this concept.
Absolutely. When you purchase gold, realistically, you're moving your money sideways into another currency because gold is pretty much a currency where, it's as good as gold, they say. There's a reason for that, and that's because it retains its wealth. There's a reason why people are moving their shrinking dollars into tangible assets, and that's because there's a lot of volatility in the market. People are scared of inflation, and the more economic breakdowns we're having, whether it's due to the recession, the credit crunch, the housing market, people are realizing they have to put their money somewhere. Where are they going to put it? Well, a lot of people are doing their research. They're listening to the news. They're listening to the chief economists out there, and the answer's really clear. It's pointing in one direction. People are strongly recommending gold that you add onto your portfolio. And I'm not talking about gold mining shares or gold certificates. I'm talking the physical gold, the American Eagles, the Canadian Maple Leafs, even older gold coins that are minted prior to 1933. They're non-confiscatable, they're non-reportable. There's different types of gold out there. We've been educating our clients for many years now on the importance of having a balanced portfolio and really how easy it is to get started. It's very simple, and if you haven't done so already, now's the time to add gold to your portfolio and get educated at the same time and realize the importance of doing it in this downturn of an economy.
We're going to share the number for listeners to call to get the Gold Guide, and if they'd like to invest today or make a transfer from those pieces of paper into real gold, they can do that right now, can't they?
Absolutely. They just have to pick up the phone. We have gold specialists standing by right now to take your call at 800-510-9594. Again, that's 800-510-9594. Whether you're looking to purchase one gold coin today, whether you're looking to diversify your portfolio and hedge against uncertainty and inflation, or whether you're looking to protect an IRA, we're able to help. And again, you can get this information. It's an education just by getting the free Gold Guide on today's broadcast at 800-510-9594.
Jonathan, I like on the DVD, there's one scene, I'll kind of share it here, and you can explain it, where one gentleman has in his left hand a gold coin. In the other hand, he has a dollar bill. and he starts folding the dollar bill over, showing that over time it's dropped. Explain what he's saying.
Well, basically, it's kind of an analogy that I'm always talking about where, the value of the dollar, isn't growing or increasing. It's actually decreasing, and this trend has been going on for many decades. And the best way I can explain it is when I tell people, imagine we're back in the year 1920, and you have one of these 1-ounce gold coins, which is called a $20 gold piece. And let's say you also had a $20 bill, because back in 1920, a $20 bill and a $20 1-ounce gold piece, they were worth the same. And in fact, they would both buy a man a brand new suit. Now, today, that same $20 1-ounce gold piece is worth thereabouts $1,000. That's the price for a 1-ounce gold coin, and it would still buy a man a brand new suit. Yet a $20 bill today, it wouldn't even buy you, a tire for your suit. Probably about, scrape through lunch for one person with today's $20 bill. And people can really see how the value of the dollar is diminishing, and that particular person you're talking about on the DVD is one of our customers who actually did a testimonial for us, and he realizes the importance of not just diversifying but moving paper monies into gold, because it's a storage of wealth. And the good thing about gold, it holds its value, and if we purchased gold today and we put $50,000 worth of gold in a safety deposit box and then put $50,000 worth of US dollar bills in there,
right?
Well, guess what's going to happen? The purchasing power of the dollar is not going to remain 50,000.
Exactly. In fact, for everyone listening, which would you rather go back to in a few years, right? It would be the one that's the gold, because this trend of the dollar slipping is going to continue. Anyone who's gone shopping lately, or as you mentioned, eating at a restaurant. I was at a restaurant not long ago, it was last weekend, in which two of us, $65 for lunch. And I was thinking, wow, I remember when you could buy lunch for, as you say, $20 or even less. This trend will continue, and if we do nothing, the hard-working money that we've made is going to slip away, isn't it?
It really is. Everything is getting more expensive every year, and that's one of the the pitfalls of inflation. And obviously, with all the government spending, the stimulus bill, the extra money for the war, the extra money for the bank bailouts, well, people are scared it's going to cause hyperinflation. And when hyperinflation comes into effect, people are actually predicting gold to be at $3,000 to $5,000 an ounce. So if we look at gold and it's rising back up to $900 right now, if gold gets back to $3,000 to $5,000 an ounce, or hit $3,000 to $5,000 an ounce in the next 4 to 5 years, it's an extremely attractive buy. And in fact, if we listen to people like Warren Buffett, he's clearly stated that the days of double-digit returns in the stock market are over. You have to find another vehicle to put your money into. And in fact, Mr. Buffett just recently acquired the 2 largest gold manufacturing companies in America today, because he also sees long-term value and growth in gold just like we do.
Well, Jonathan, I want to go back to that analogy, because I want everyone listening to think about Jonathan's analogy. If we had 2 safety deposit boxes next to each other, and today we put $50,000 in paper money in there, in one of them, and we put $50,000 of gold in the other, which one of those safe deposit boxes would you like to have ownership of in 5 years, right?
Well, I want the gold,
yeah,
all day long, every day.
And I think that our listeners should go to the phone right now and get the Gold Guide and at least learn about it. If you're ready to make a purchase, the Capital Gold Group is ready to work with you. They have these specialists standing by. I've got relatives, family members who have purchased through you, been very satisfied. We have been on the air for many, many years. And, this is not just something you're starting today. This is an established business with a track record, right?
Absolutely. We have a proven track record. We've been featured numerous times in Forbes magazines. We've been endorsed by a lot of famous people out there that have purchased gold from us. And in the past, where gold has been seen as a backseat investment, it really wasn't that attractive maybe, 6-7 years ago, I was still a strong believer in having a balanced portfolio. Now, I'm not telling people that it's doom and gloom and the world's going to end tomorrow. I'm definitely not a doom and gloom person. In fact, I'm very optimistic. But, we are in a recession right now. It could be 5 to 7 years before we actually come out of this recession. And as these problems continue